I get hyped whenever I talk to you because I think I share a lot of the same visions of the future of the game. So I'm just curious, like, what are you working on, and how can we as a community help you bring that to life, or bring it, maybe more importantly, to the team's attention, that this is like where, we as a community want the team to be or the game to be focusing on.
I have 3 things that are going to be brought into reality, at least discussion wise, within the next week. And none of this has hit like the presses yet. So this is much more of like a beta look into the mind of Weirdbeard. But this is stuff that I've been percolating on for a while. And the main issue is more all these 3 things need to be done. It's what needs to be done first to ensure the health of the company and the health of the player base, right? So it's like we need to look at it as there's 3 things and there's 3 steps we have to take. 1 is health of the company. 2 is the outreach and support of the community, so that we start making people think that Splinterlands isn't dying. And the 3rd one is outreach. So it's boom, boom, boom. And we need to organize which of these 3 things go into which of those 3 categories, so that we know that we're not like doing something now that's like really cool, but it doesn't help the health of the company and also doesn't bring in new cool. So understand that, with the caveat that all of this is important. And like on a side corollary, the bots and talk about bots is a different conversation, because that's a technology conversation, not a what do we do conversation, because I think the line has been cast on that. So there's headway being made on that, but it's much more of like a what can we do? What are we able to do? How expensive is it to make sure to, because cheat making in Call of Duty is an ever evolving race. You fix one thing, they find a new thing. You fix it, they find a new thing. Yeah. And they're always building on that. So that's like again, side, put that in a box. We can talk about that. Here are the 3 things. First thing, draft mode tournaments. Reason why draft mode tournaments is important to me. 1, selling of Chaos Legion packs. It makes it so we're not burning a whole bunch of that shit. It brings in money to people in the company. It's something that is a community event. It's a new mode, which always gets people that are either lapsed players or like on the outside, like, oh yeah, this is fun. It's the feeling of Friday Night Magic. That's what we're going after, is the ability of getting everybody together in a room going, oh my God, this is so much fun. And even if you get your ass kicked, you walk away not only with cards, but the experience of like playing and being like, oh my God, can you believe how terrible I drew? That was the worst thing ever. Oh yeah. And it also, draft mode tournaments will not be botted, I assume, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to have like imperfect data that you never, you know what I mean? Like they just, you could do the tool assisted stuff, but then that's not really like what I consider a bot, right? Like a bot is you set it, you forget it, you never touch it, and it just extracts value. Draft mode tournament is interesting, but I think it's the lowest priority of these 3 things. So I'm going to give you my take, and then I'm very open to being like, hey, no, move it up or down the list, right? So that's number 3. Number 2, most important, a battle pass. Here's why a battle pass is so important to me. Because the battle pass is something that is going to make people and players engage with more aspects of the game. It makes it so that you don't just do a battle. I mean, I'm sure everybody here is familiar with like the Fortnite battle pass or everything else, right? It's guaranteed income for the company, because studies have proven that if you buy a battle pass, 70% of the people that buy a battle pass once continue to buy it for at least 5 battle passes afterwards. Even like I'm talking a $20 purchase every 2 months. It is the as Gank likes to call them, the movie and a dinner crowd. It's people that aren't going to go and spend
every 2 months or every 2 weeks.
2 months.
Oh, okay. So it's not per season. Okay.
No. This has to be big, right? Like this is a chunky boy of like 100 levels where you have daily, weekly, and season quests that you have to complete along the way. Okay. And all the things in the battle pass are not monetary. They are not DEC and SPS. Maybe we do some low-level cards, and like if you complete the battle pass, it goes from a common to a legendary card. You know what I mean? By going all the way through, and it's an auto leveling system. Yeah. Or you do skins, titles, card borders, NFTs to be able to display in a trophy case, like all things that are not bottable, because bots can't just can't get those. They don't care about skins. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's a secondary market for selling and transferring those. But I think a lot of it is soul-bound items and things that real players want and use and get excited about, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a constant money stream that then becomes the like P-rock of your garden, right? Like it's not going to make it beautiful. It's not going to pay all the bills. But if we can count on, hey, you don't need to launch a card set every, 2 months. You don't need to do this whole game shakeup every single time. Here you go. It's a battle pass. So it takes creative effort and resources to fill the battle pass with things people want, but you make it so that it's a way that people are able to get in, get things that they like, and then also have a free battle pass so that they get a quarter of the items or whatever it is. But you had the trick is, and I don't know if you guys know this, they always include just enough in like the Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, Overwatch battle pass so that if you complete it all the way through for 2 seasons, you can then buy the battle pass going forward. So it's like
for free.
Yeah, it's like a flywheel. We're supposed to reach out to those, people who don't have money, who can't spend $800 on a Lux Vega. Get them in there, get them some fun shit so that even if it's not, something that they're doing every single time, that they're able to still get something. And you want them to be sticky. That's the biggest complaint I see people talk about with new players, is that they come in, they play for a week or two, and then they're gone, right? Because A, they get dumped into ranked and it's the most miserable experience ever. But B, because it's like, if you're not interested in the tokenomics, you're just like running into a wall in ranked. There's nothing else. You're not told what to do. You're not told, hey, go rent a card. Like that would be hey, you get a battle pass level for renting a card on the market. You get a battle pass level for running 10 death splinters, over a week. You get a battle pass level for entering a fray or joining a guild or something like that. Like entering a tournament or like do a challenge with one other player and win. Like just little things like that it's a teaching lesson without telling them explicitly, hey, make sure you go to our card market and rent a card. Like if they see rent a card in the market, you go, I want that battle pass level because it has a skin. Like, click, I'll rent whatever stupid Gargoyle Lion I can. And then even if they don't use that card, right, they are taught that's how you go to the market to rent a card. Like it's education without education. They call it invisible education in gaming, like slang, right?
Sure.
I think it's secondarily important. The number one most important item is something that I hope to bring into this world. And it is a free-to-play version. And bear with me. Here's what we do. It's a weekly version. Okay. So every single week I will put out, it's like a ghost card tournament almost, but it's not a tournament. So just bear with me as I explain. Instead of having every single card available, you're going to have a randomly generated set of cards that we pick, and a randomly generated set of rules and a randomly generated set of mana. And that exists for the entire week. It makes it so that like, hey, instead of having every single card, we're going to kick out some of the really good ones, make sure there's some garbage in there that you're forced to have to interact with, and just like get people exposed to the cards and the games. They only have certain rules and certain mana sets. It won't be botted because it'd be impossible for every single week for bots to gain enough data on a random card set, random rules, and random mana to always know what the hell to be doing in there, right? There's no ability, you're not playing with like, oh, I need to play meta, I need to do this. You're just literally going in and being like, hey, this is fun. And instead of having it be live battles like a tournament, right? You make it to where every time that you hit submit, your team is essentially snapshotted. Like you take a picture and it goes into a bucket. So every time somebody's competing with that rule set and that mana cap, they're not going live against another player. It's not Aftersound against Darkest Night. It's Darkest Night against somebody else that submitted a team maybe 2 days ago, maybe a day ago, maybe an hour ago. Like, but it's already submitted. So it's not like live head-to-head, I'm matching up against this person. It's just, these are the other teams that people submitted and want to play for here. This has a dual kind of thing. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be botted. And if it is, we can tweak it to make sure that we go out.
Are there going to be rewards? Right? Are there going to be like financial rewards from it?
So it will be more about the new player experience. So it'd be like low level cards, it'd be battle pass tokens, it'd be you know, not necessarily skins and titles, but things along that same kind of feeling of like, hey, we're giving away passes to be able to enter into any tournament you want for free, or you know, like things that just essentially make it so new players stick. Like we'd have to really do some due diligence about that, but like make it focused on getting those players to not go into ranked first. There is no competitive AAA title that the first fucking thing you do when you join a game is go play in ranked mode. It's ranked. It's supposed to be for people who know what's going on. This is our unranked mode. This is our ability to get people in the game and they just go, this game is so much fun. You're going to hear people say like, oh, well, there's going to be people that only play that. Yes, there will be. There will be maybe 30%, 40% of people that go and play this like unranked mode essentially and never leave and never enter the paid ecosystem. But they can at least say, I like this game. It's fun, it's enjoyable, and you hope maybe after a month or two that they get hooked and they want to go in and they do want to eventually dive in.
You will convert some of them, or you'll get their word of mouth telling other people about this cool game they're playing.
Yes, and the other aspect that I want to preach about this, it's the new mobile experience, because you don't have to make it so that there's transactions. There's no transactions that go on. And that's the largest issue with the mobile game, is that you cannot have transactions happening. So you do this mobile version that's essentially available on PC and desktop as well. That really focuses on the fun aspect of the game. People love it. And then you convert them and they get these items from, you know, like if you win a whole bunch over the weekly, then you know, level up and you're able to get better and better rewards by playing the weekly more often. I think this is of the utmost importance to start working on, like now. Like I said, it starts to solve that new player experience. New player experience also means we need better tutorials. We need better education on what the game is and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, let's put a tourniquet on it and try to get this weekly free mode out. And I think free to play really scares a lot of people because they think it like devalues card value, because all of a sudden, but these people aren't owning the cards. It's like everybody always asks for a practice mode or an ability to go and like interact and challenge their friends and play with this. Well, you know, that's kind of hard because it's like a bot training ground. Usually if I give you the tools to just run as many matches as you want with all the cards, they're just going to train themselves to death on it. So why don't we look at this weekly
collect the
mode?
data?
Yeah, we do this weekly mode that it's all imperfect data that they can't train off of. It allows new players to have a place where they go where it's not, they're still going to get their asses kicked if they're brand new, but they're not going to feel like, oh, I don't have any cards. I'm just getting stomped by bots. I don't understand what's going on in bronze. This is too hard. I'm out. Like, because they're able to like do it with no, not even in like a RP system. There's no ELO in this. You would still be able to compete. You know what I mean? Like you're in there, and sometimes you're going to get, of course, you're going to get buzzsaws, but other times you're going to get somebody who's just as dumb as you are, and they're going to submit the team, and you're going to be like, oh, I thought like something will click, and you'll get why it happened, and then you start doing that, and then once you move from there to ranked, it's reset and you have fewer cards and it's much more, but you kind of have the strategy of like, how do I get out of this? I know that like when I was playing in the weekly, I really liked playing with this one card, and this card seemed to always, the few wins that I got was why I did that. I need to go get that card. The battle pass will have already educated them on how to go rent a card, how to go onto the market. And if they really feel like they're just getting their shit stomped and ranked, instead of bashing their head on the wall, they go back to play the free weekly. You know what I mean? Like do a little bit more education and learning back there.
You could also have a linkage into Discord, right? If someone's struggling, direct them to Discord where people like them are learning the game as well, right? I didn't discover Discord for like 6 months.
Yeah. And it's like one of the things is even with the weekly. So I play a game, and I've talked about this to a lot of people and they judge me. So don't judge me too hard. It's called Super Auto Pets. It is an auto battler that uses meme animals. It's meme animals, and you set your team, and the animals all have like different abilities, right? And so it's like it's kind of inundating at the very beginning. But one of the best things that the community does is because they use this weekly feature, is that every week, even really experienced players have to relearn the meta. So they all get together at the beginning of the week on Reddit and then their Discord, and they go, okay, what animals are available this week? And they draw out the tier list and they go, okay, well, this animal isn't available to activate this animal's ability. So even though they have this animal in there, it's garbage. But then next week, because the 2 may be in there, they go, oh shit, there's both of those animals. It's amazing this week. Like it's S tier. It's an auto pick. So it's like, it's ever evolving meta. It makes it so that you're not just playing the same freaking cards over and over again. You don't have to have anything because you're being given an imperfect deck to where some weeks cards will be good, some weeks cards won't be good. And it's like, then you're actually learning the game and not what cards you need to have to win, which is what the current like education system in the player community really kind of boils down to. Like, you're not taught when you go into bronze, here's the way to really do it. It's, oh, you just need to rent X, Y, and Z, and then you'll be able to fly through, right? That doesn't teach me why this shit is happening. It doesn't teach me how the interactions go and like why this is, a real thing. So, yes. So those are my 3 grand plans. The plan is that the weekly would have to be decided by leadership because it's like a whole pivot to introducing a free-to-play mechanic.
Yeah.
The battle pass is a proposal, and I hate proposals because I hate people. Like, I don't want to get signed on from anybody. But the thing about a proposal is that you now have a certain number of people come in and they say, yes, we want to buy this. And then you can start putting a dollar amount on it. You can go like, hey, Aggie, even though, this may not be a ton of money every month or 2 for this battle pass, we've had X number of people vote and say that they're in favor of including it. They may not all buy it. Let's say 60% of the people buy it that vote for it. That's how much kind of revenue we're sort of just looking at offhand that we're able to bring in consistently. And then when it comes to the draft mode tournament, I think that's an outreach thing. I think that's community still kind of like calling for it. But the first real thing is like trying to get this community on board and understand that like when I start talking free to play, I'm not devaluing cards. I don't want to go out and like crash assets or anything like that. But we are in a bubble, not one that I'm saying is going to burst, but I'm saying it's a bubble in that it's contained. We talk to ourselves. We don't do outreach. Yeah. It's very opaque and hard to get these new players. Yeah, it's really hard to get these new players in. Well, in a market, everybody talks about, well, we need to talk about how much money you can make. No. You don't talk about that right now. When everything's good, sure, you can talk about it all you want. But we talk about the fun and mechanics of the game because we need to educate a player base. Like right now, one of the solutions that Ghost Card tournaments kind of solved was like, if I were to go to a large Magic the Gathering streamer and they're pissed off about all the stuff going on in Magic right now and they want to jump ship. And I go, hey, I want you to educate your fan base, your viewers about this game. The only way to get them in is through a Ghost Card tournament because it's impossible to tell them, hey, you need to go on stream and you need to purchase all these assets or rent all or be given all this stuff. And then even if that's okay for you, your players and your viewers are going to be shit out of luck. They're going to not have anything that they're able to do. And there's no way to just onboard them. And if they are playing the weekly and they go, wow, this weekly's so fun, you guys can join in too. Come on, come play the weekly. Here you go. Let's do this. And they all jump in, they start playing, and then you convert, like I said, 40% of them over into the actual paid ecosystem. Like those two things can operate within themselves and really lock up the competition because, again, like Hearthstone, you just download and you can play something and it's not ranked. Magic Arena, you can download and play something and it's not ranked. And it's like, that's what we have to do is before we start talking about, not before we start talking about, there are people who are much smarter than me who want to talk and discuss tokenomics and they want to talk about the assets and how that impacts the game and all that kind of stuff. And I release them. They're allowed to do that as much as they want. But this is like my advocacy group is to say, yo, if we get this free to play mode out there, like a permanent Ghost Card mode, but you don't get every single Ghost Card. I think that's the true way to seeing player numbers come up, a smarter, better educated, place and space, and it gets people so that ranked is actually ranked. You can use real ranked numbers now and not just have it be that's where all players instinctively go because there's nowhere else for them to exist. Like, it should be, honestly, that this free-to-play mode, if you are a brand new account, you can't even go to ranked or tournaments or anything else until you play X number of the free-to-play games. Period.